Councillor Starr.
Yeah, just a quick question to Transportation Works. Is there a listing of the projects throughout the city? There's so many areas that are incomplete, and they're almost there. They're 95%, and they've been sitting since last fall. And I just wonder if there's a priority, and the one that concerns me is the one I pass twice a day is, matter of fact, on Mississauga Road, Councillor Mahoney, that there's a part there where they've raised the sidewalk. They haven't finished the sidewalk. It's like a ramp. And what I saw the other day was a person riding on the sidewalk with their bike, but immediately, instead of going on the ramp because it's not finished, with his mountain bike, he went immediately onto the road. And I'm just, little things like that. Throughout the city, there's a lot of minor ones, and I'm just wondering if there's a listing of those that are followed up on, or...
Through you, Mr. Chair, there are a lot of different people that work on the road allowance, the different utilities, etc. And we do have staff that, because first of all, they're required to take out a permit. And the permit also prompts us to make sure that we follow up, make sure that it's repaired properly, and we also know what work is happening. But it can come from various sources. As I say, it can be utilities, it could be the region, it could be private contractors, etc. But we do have a number of staff following up on that. I've made note of this sidewalk. Maybe you can tell me approximately where it is.
Yeah, just south of Dundas on the west side. In fact, there's two ramps. It's very unusual because there's sidewalks, but there's ramps. I don't know if they're avoiding a culvert or they're avoiding some old structure. And the other part to take a look at is that they're probably about 1.5 meters lifted right beside the road. And I'm not sure if it's planned to have some sort of a barrier or whatever, because in the wintertime, if they have a cyclist chasing down there, they have a problem.
I will make sure someone follows up with that one. And but as I say, there are many people out there. We do have record of those, and we are constantly following up. And it is in the summertime. It's a big job to make sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to.
As a general inquiry, I'm sure that's followed up on, but there's also ones that I'm not sure there's a priority. But yeah, we can chat.
Okay.
Councillor Mahoney.
I think there's something on Eglinton on the east side of the river in Ward 6 that I might want to complain about.
There's a lot of jocularity today, don't know why.
I'm going to go on perhaps a ward tour, and then I'll chat with the ward councillor about it, perhaps. But no, there are some issues there. I'm sort of fully aware of it, and we do have an additional problem in that there's at least one student at UTM who uses a wheelchair. And he's really looking forward to the sidewalk on Mississauga Road. That is a city project, but that ramping is going to cause some barrier to the wheelchair use, and as you say, to cyclists and that sort of thing. I actually went on the list since Councillor Starr's looking after that one now, I went on the list to talk about Rogers Cable. I seem to be getting an inordinate number of calls from folks where the Rogers cable is hanging from tree to house to whatever. And I recognize that the community I represent is at an age where there's a lot of rebuilds for Rogers, or a lot of work going on, but they don't seem to follow up. And then it causes work for us, because the residents call the city, they call my office, I'm sure they call Works Department, so the staff have to follow up and chase down Rogers. Is there some way, I think Rogers have a policy where they bury or repair permanently the cable within a certain period, but they do seem to forget. It falls off the list from time to time, and the cables, after 3 or 4 years, start to hang lower and lower and lower, to the point, I think, on one street in particular, it was interfering with cars driving up the street. The cable was hanging so low at that point. So it's not our problem, but it creates a problem for us, and that our staff then have to continually follow up and monitor.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I am aware that we do get many complaints. And so it might be appropriate if I can take it as direction that we send a letter to Rogers and ask for official response on that, about what is their timing, etc. Because I know it's come up before that they'll make temporary repairs and then they don't get repaired, or as you say, it falls down, etc. So it might be good to send a letter and ask for an official response back from Rogers on what their policy is, and if they could address some of the issues that we're having to deal with the residents. Because every time we get a phone call, we then have to go back to Rogers, and it does affect staff and the resources.
Yes. No, and that's my point, I guess, Martin. You're getting them, we're getting them.
Yeah.
So let's just get Rogers to smarten up. Thank you.
Councillor Starr.
All I wanted to do is to bring the public safety into perspective, and being elected to the whole of the city of Mississauga, I thought I was doing something very courageous there, Councillor Mahoney. But anyway, we do have
That was courageous.
and now that you brought the matter up in Ward 6 or in Ward 8, yes, at 1665 White, there is a wire hanging. So putting it as official complaint, but that was yesterday, because I did call the people in charge of that wire and they fixed it promptly this morning. You see, so I did save you a phone call. So we all work together on these things. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right.
No. We've got media here who are going to love this. So Ron and I have been friends for over 30 years. Like, we'll continue to be friends for the next 30 years. So don't worry about it.
Okay.
We don't mess with each other.
All right. A little decorum, please. Okay.
Yeah.
It was very entertaining, I must say.
Very revealing too.
Yes,